Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and realizing the fire is almost gone. No matches, no lighter, no flashlight, no locked door, no warm house behind you. Just a few weak red embers in the dirt, cold air moving through the camp, and darkness pressing in from every side. For ancient humans, fire was not just a tool. It was warmth. It was light. It was cooked food. It was a warning sign to animals. It was the center of the group. It was the difference between a place that felt human and a place that felt like open wilderness again. So when the fire went out, the problem was not only physical, it was psychological. Because the moment the fire weakened, the world changed shape. Faces became harder to read. The edges of the camp disappeared. Every sound outside the light became bigger than it really was. A branch cracking in the dark could become a predator. Wind in dry grass could become footsteps. A shadow could become a threat. The first level was ember panic. Not loud panic at first. Quiet, frozen panic. Someone would notice that the flames were gone and only a small red glow remained. They might lean close, careful not to put their hands inside the heat, trying to see whether the ember still had life. A tiny coal could become more valuable than food for a moment, because if the ember survived, the group could rebuild the fire. If it died, they might need to find another flame, strike sparks, carry coals from another place, or wait in darkness. And waiting in darkness was not neutral. It changed the nervous system. This was level 2. The night gets louder. Around a strong fire, the camp has a center. People know where to sit. They know where the safe circle ends. They can see each other's eyes. They can see movement. But when the light shrinks, the safe circle shrinks with it. The same group that felt connected an hour earlier might suddenly feel exposed. Children move closer. Adults stop talking. Someone listens toward the trees. Someone looks behind them again and again. Ancient humans likely learned that night was not only a time of sleep, it was a time of listening. But listening too hard can become its own danger. The brain begins to fill empty space with threats. That is one of the oldest survival tricks inside us. When information is missing, fear adds details. Then came level 3. Who was supposed to guard it? A dying fire creates a social question. Who let it happen? Was someone asleep when they should have added wood? Did someone use too much fuel earlier? Did someone walk away from the fire circle? Did someone ignore the smoke getting weak? In a small group, mistakes were not private. A tired person's failure could become everyone's danger. And this is where fire became more than fire. It became responsibility. The person who guarded the embers was not only protecting warmth, they were protecting trust. If the fire died under your watch, the group might not only fear the dark, they might fear your unreliability. This was level 4, protect the weak flame. Now the group had to act carefully, not a heroic bonfire, not a dramatic explosion of flames. At first, only patience, dry grass, tiny twigs, slow breath, hands beside the heat, never inside it, someone blocking the wind with their body, someone searching quietly for better fuel, someone keeping others from crowding too close and smothering the ember. This is a strange part of survival psychology. When something is almost lost, the group must become gentle. Too much force can destroy the thing they are trying to save. A dying fire teaches restraint. Move too fast, and the ember dies. Blow too hard, and ash scatters. Add heavy wood too early, and the weak heat disappears underneath it. So everyone watches a small red point in the dirt as if the whole night depends on it. Because maybe it does. Then came level 5, blame. If the ember survived, the group might calm down. But if it failed, the emotional story changed. Someone would be blamed, maybe fairly, maybe unfairly. In survival groups, blame can appear faster than truth because blame gives fear a target. The group might turn toward the person who slept, the person who used the last dry branch, the person who said the fire was strong enough, the the person who was already low status. That last part matters. In a hungry or frightened tribe, blame does not always land on the most responsible person. It often lands on the easiest person to accuse. This is uncomfortable, but deeply human. When danger rises, groups look for control. And if they cannot control the night, the cold, or the animals beyond the camp, they may try to control one person. Shame becomes a tool, sometimes useful, sometimes cruel. A person who failed the fire might remember that shame for years. The group might remember too. Around future fires, people would watch them differently. Reputation was not decoration in ancient life, it was survival memory. Then came level 6, leaving the fire circle. If the fire fully died, someone might have to go into the dark, to find dry wood, to search for another ember, to reach another nearby group, to check whether fuel had been left beyond the camp. This was dangerous not only because of predators, it was dangerous because it meant stepping out of the visible social world. Inside the fire circle, you are seen. Outside it, you become a shape. The group cannot read your face. You cannot read theirs. Every sound can be misunderstood. This is why darkness can create suspicion. Someone leaving the circle may be brave, but they may also look secretive. Someone refusing to leave may be cautious, but they may look selfish. Fire made behavior visible. Darkness made motives harder to trust, and that may be one reason humans built so much meaning around light. Light does not only reveal objects, it reveals people. Then came level 7, morning relief. If the group survived the night, daylight changed everything. The same camp that felt surrounded at midnight might look ordinary in the morning. The terrifying shapes become rocks. The strange sounds become birds. The invisible edge of the world returns. And if a small ember survived until dawn, the group had won something important. Not just heat, continuity. The fire had crossed the night with them. That mattered because ancient survival depended on fragile continuities. A remembered path, a shared rule, a working tool, a protected child, a coal that did not die. The fire was a memory you could touch. It carried yesterday into today. And maybe this is why modern humans still feel something ancient around a flame. We stare at campfires even when we have electric light. We gather around candles during power cuts. We feel unease when the lights fail in a building. We check our phones like tiny artificial fires, making sure the darkness is not complete. Modern life has changed the tools, but not the old signal. When the light disappears, the body still asks, "Can I see the group? Can the group see me? Is the edge safe? Who is responsible? What happens if this protection fails?" That is the ancient psychology of a dying fire. It was never only about flames, it was about the boundary between safety and wilderness. The fire circle told ancient humans, "Here, for now, we are together." And when that circle began to fade, the oldest fear was not simply the dark, it was being alone inside it. If this ancient instinct still feels familiar, subscribe to Primeval Psyche. Here, we decode modern behavior through ancient survival. The next fear may be much older than you think.